Talk about the magical story on how I started selling sun catchers as a full-on business, making 12,000 sales. I have experience. I know what I'm talking about. While I finish this piece, because this thing has been taking me forever. I started Etsy about 5 years ago, and when I first started, I started doing tarot readings. And then I kind of just got burned out on that because I was sick and tired of telling people what to do with their lives. Although it was pretty fun and I met some really cool people, I was just ready for something more. So I kept thinking, like, what else can I do? What else can I make? At the time, I was working at my parents' jewelry store. So I kind of had like conflict of interest. So I couldn't really get into making jewelry. But I always loved shiny things, pretty things. So I'm like, you know what? Let me do something around that. I was really inspired by another psychic reader that was doing apothecary, and I actually became friends with her, and she was like, why don't you just start selling stuff on your Etsy shop? And I was like, actually, that's a good idea. So I thought, you know what, let me sell some witchy things. So I was thinking about selling just like feng shui stuff and just like herbs and things like that. And I just started ordering stuff from Alibaba, and then I found out that you're not supposed to sell stuff, pre-made things on Etsy. I don't know why I didn't know that before. I just found out through another seller that reached out to me and told me to be careful with selling stuff like that because I could get in trouble. So then I started getting nervous. I was like, I don't want to lose like my status on Etsy, because at that point I had already had only 1,000 sales, and I thought that was pretty good at the time. So to protect my shop, I was like, all right, I'm removing all these things. Now I have to make stuff. Let me just be creative and make things. So one day I just decided that I was going to make wands because that's witchy, right? So I went to Joann and I started buying wire. And I don't even know how I came up with this concept, because I've never seen anyone do something like that. And it was like a download. It was like a download. I just went, I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing, and I just started buying beads. When I got to Joann, I saw that they had like 70% off beads, and I was like, oh my God, these are beautiful. And I never really paid attention to the bead aisle at Joann before, and I was just so in love. And then I thought, you know what, let me just make an investment. Let me make an investment because everything is so cheap right now. I don't want to lose out on the opportunity. And I still had no idea what I was going to do. I just wanted to have a bead collection and a wire collection, and that's exactly what I did. A $200 investment started my whole entire business. So I came home, rushed home, made my first wand. I posted it right away, and I think I got like 100 views, and out of the 100 views, I think 2 people bought off of me, and I just got so much good response to it that I was like, let me just keep making wands. At this point, I was still doing tarot readings on the side. I just wasn't doing as much, so I increased my price because I just didn't want to do it unless it was like really worth it. So one day, as I'm posting on Instagram, I was getting more and more traction on there. A girl wrote me, and she's like, why don't you just add clips? I'll show you. She's like, why don't you just add a clip to the end of the wand so it could become like a little that, and also to put on your bracelets and to grab your ATM card from the machine. Those are for girls with long nails. I was like, huh, that's actually a pretty good idea. So then I moved from there. Then I started making clips. And the more I did it, the more recommendations I did. And then I started making these little cute wands. You know what those are for, right? Aren't they adorable? You guys want a tutorial on these? I'll show you. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm done doing readings. Let me just focus on making my art. And I had so much fun doing it. My brain is just like, more, let's do more, let's do more. So then I went on Pinterest one day and I just happened to see a sun catcher. And then I was like, wait, I can make this because I have all the beads, I have everything I need. Let me just create something of my own. So I just started making stuff. Then I made my first piece, which I'm going to put in here so you can see exactly my very first sun catcher. Girl, I'm telling you, within 24 hours, I sold that piece. And I was like, oh, and I made $75. I was like, this is way more money than doing the clips and the wands. And so let me keep going. Let me add more stuff. So it just kept growing. And then the more I kept posting, the more sales I was making. And also, I'm a master manifester. Like anything I think about, I bring about. And I truly, truly believe that. And I think that's my success, because I really believe that someone can be more talented than me, but if they don't have the right mindset, they're just never going to move. They won't. You gotta work, girl. Like, work your ass off. I remember I spent all day in the studio going live and making stuff, and I'm always making something. I'm a creator. I have to. Master manifester. The funny part is that I never knew the whole picture. I never knew what I was going to do. I just took the steps. Like my Martin Luther King Jr. always said this, always stuck in my brain since I was a little girl. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step. And I just live my life like that. I never know what's going to happen. I just get the thought and I have to act. If I don't act, I'm going to totally regret it. And I know that. And I refuse to feel that way. I don't want to have any regrets. And it just kept growing and growing and growing. And 12,000 sales later, here I am on Etsy. I'm no longer doing that because Etsy fees, you guys, be fucking for real. The game has changed significantly. I truly believe, like, if you start Etsy now, I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna go. I have no clue. I can't tell you. I can only tell you what it was before. All I know that my life has been breadcrumbs. I just pick up the bread and go to the next step. Pick up the bread, go to the next step. Pick up the bread, go to the next step. You truly don't have to know. All you have to do is learn to take risks. Because if you don't take risks, how would you ever know? That would drive me insane. That is like my worst nightmare. Of not knowing, of knowing that I could have done something and chose not to. Not me. Not me. And when I started making Suncatchers, I was shocked that people were willing to pay what they were paying, because I was not that good. And this was a time when we didn't have a recession, where people could spend extra money. Now people are like tight with their shit. So that's why I'm just teaching y'all, because why not? I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be content. Should I say that? Is that cringy? Oh, fucking well. I want to get paid to exist. So if you guys see my videos, you watching this, you're making my dreams come true. So why can't I gift you with something with my knowledge? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. I teach you shit, you watch my videos. And TikTok pays me for it. So